So welcome to part 2 of my top 10 games of 2020, and we'll be starting this one off with Doom Eternal. I remember when this was just about to be released and my hype was at, overload. Well, maybe not quite overload, but you know what I mean. The hype was up there, up in the stratosphere, quite excited for this. I really liked Doom 2016. So I thought I'd have the same love for this. No, I didn't, unfortunately. I found that they'd jacked up the difficulty way beyond my skill set, and I was playing in Ultra Violence and very quickly went, no, bumped it down, and then I ended up just playing the fucking game on easy because it was so hard and I was so shit at it. The problem is that I'm an old fucker now, so I'm not really good at any video game now. I'm just sort of, I exist. I play my games on either normal or easy. That's bad, innit? That's sad. I remember I could run through Halo and Heroic and even bat an eyelid. I can't even get by the second level now. Jesus. Also, just because the game didn't set my pubes on fire the way the first one did doesn't mean I don't like it. I actually think it's a rather bloody good game. I have issues with it. It just feels different. It feels a lot lighter. It doesn't have that heft that Doom 2016 had. Also, they've changed all the pickups to look like the original Doom, so they're really cartoony, but they do stick out a lot more. So, but I preferred the way that it all fit in with the first game. All the aesthetics, all the pickups, they all look like they would exist in that world, rather than like a shotgun pickup being like fucking 4 luminous orange and yellow, shotgun shells. It's weird. I know they've tried to do it to sort of harken back to the original game, but I prefer the way 2016. Shit. There's also no snap map this time around because I reckon around about 3 people used that. Probably more than that, but you know what I mean. And the multiplayer mode's been overhauled. I never played it, so this is just a single player I'm talking about. No multiplayer here, couldn't give a fuck. So what you do get is an awesome 12-hour campaign. And it's brilliant, it's great fun. It's basically a remake of Doom 2, right? Hell on Earth, that's what it is. New monsters, new weapons, overhauled weapons. There's no pistol this time. You're just cutting about with your shotgun as the default weapon, which is probably a wise idea. Nobody uses the pistol. What a fucking shite. The new monsters, some of them are really irritating, like the Marauder. He's basically a demonic version of you. And he's got a shield, and you can't use the BFG on him for some reason, magic probably. And you have to really either kill him with I can't even remember the name of the gun. Double barrel shotgun. Super shotgun is really the game changer in that fight. Or you can use anything that's got some sort of like explosive, like the rocket launcher if you use the detonate ability with the rocket launcher, or you can use the thing that looks like a fucking ballista. I don't know what it's called, I can't remember. But you use that to take him out. Anything else, just forget it. He would just dodge and set his wee dog on you. That's pretty cruel actually. There's a wee ethereal dog that turns up if you actually manage to miss hitting them and pure raging and you have to shoot it. And it keeps coming back. It's just, the Marauder's just annoying. But he's not too bad when you learn. His wee eyes will glow green, and when that happens, just shoot him right in the face, right in the coopin', and then you can glory kill the bastard and chop his head off. So it didn't hit me the way I thought it was going to hit me. Kind of disappointed about that. Still a great game. I think they should leave Doom alone now and maybe go back to Quake or Heretic, or well, I'd say Hexen, but Hexen is the sequel to Heretic. But you know what I mean. Something completely fucking different. I know they tried that Quake Champions, but no, that did not hit the mark. You tried to turn it into fucking Overwatch and people like that, get the fuck. And now we move on to another game. It's Streets of Rage 4. What a game this is. The greatest day of my gaming life was when I read somewhere on the internet that they were going to make a fourth Streets of Rage. Yes! Now all they need to do is make a new Golden Axe, and I will be complete. Even though I wasn't really a big fan of Golden Axe, I thought it was clunky and boring and slow and Not the best, but I really love Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage, in my opinion, is the absolute pinnacle of side-scrolling fighting games. Even better than Final Fight, yes. The best of the best on the Mega Drive. And now it is on everything else. You can get it on the Switch, the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the PC, and let me tell you, it's a very, very addictive game. It's not massive, but these games never are, and I don't expect them to be massive in length. But the replayability and just the satisfying clunk when you smash somebody's face into the ground, or when you juggle them into the air, then they smack into the ground. Or when you get a knife and you stab them in the stomach and they smack into the ground. The boss fights are good, the boss fights are fun. Sometimes you're fighting two bosses at once. Cool. I had that in Streets of Rage 2 with those robot things, remember those robot things? And then towards the end you'd fight fucking Blanca Predator. And that was just, it's like, this is the sequel to Streets of Rage 2. I wasn't the biggest fan of 3 either. It was no bad, but all the other familiar faces make a return, and you need to get points. And when you hit certain milestones, you'll unlock characters. Like maybe a character from Streets of Rage 1, or maybe Streets of Rage 1 Axel, so you'll be cutting about with the actual sprite from the first game. It's quite interesting, it's really cool. And like I say, Sega just need to start, making use of the IPs that they've got. They don't do that enough. Nowhere near enough. I see, like, where's like Space Harrier, or maybe make another Afterburner. They did that back in the 360 days, but somehow they lost the license. I don't know if that belongs to other people other than Sega. But they need to start making more older IPs become more relevant, is my point. So, Golden Axe, Alien Storm, things like that. Make another Alien Storm game, man. That'd be fucking beastly. Alien Storm was one of these games that incorporated different styles of gameplay. There was side-scrolling shooting bits. There was the first-person light gun shooting bits. There was the side-scrolling fighting bits. It was basically sci-fi Golden Axe, because it played it in almost exactly the same way, only it was a hell of a lot better. But you know what I mean? And Streets of Rage 4 coming back, great. I want a Streets of Rage 5 now, and 6, and 7, and I'm maybe going a wee bit overboard there, but you get my excitement, right? You get the excitement. Was there ever a Streets of Rage like a brawler game, like a tournament fighter? I know there was a Golden Axe one, but that was I never played that. It was the Sega Saturn, and I never played it. The Golden Axe, the Duel. What could a Streets of Rage version be? Streets of Rage, the Brawl. That's good. But there's a versus mode in Streets of Rage 4, the way they did with the second game. You could fight each other if you do so wish. Personally, no, but there you go. Not got too much more to say about this other than it's a fucking brilliant game. I've had tons of fun with it. You should too. Go check it out if you're even remotely curious as to what this game can hold. And it holds a lot of satisfaction. Plus it's gorgeous and the soundtrack's brilliant. So get it and love it!
I come before you today to talk to you about Ghost of Tsushima.
Next up on the chopping block is Ghost of Tsushima. I hope you played this game. If not, I hope this convinces you to do so. Some say this is Assassin's Creed Japan. I can see that. It's a very stealthy game. The parkour is very similar to Assassin's Creed. The combat could be said it's similar to older Assassin's Creed games. It's not similar to the new ones. It's not a hack and slash. It is a game where you need to choose your tactics, change up the way you fight mid-fight. Certain stances will be effective against shields, then your other stance you need to use against people that just wield swords or dual wield or heavy weapons, or you know what I mean, which is really cool. So you're constantly sort of mixing up the way you fight every fight. So the game is based around the Mongol invasion of Japan, specifically Tsushima Island. Now this is a historical event, but it is a fictional story, fictional character. There could have been somebody called Gin there, but who knows? Gin and tonic. Oh, no thank you, sir. I prefer a hard cider myself. Or a soft cider, it doesn't really matter which. It is also an open world game where, yes, you have the open world busy work, you have your main story, you have your side quests, you have side activities, you can go in little mountain spas to increase your health, or you can chop bamboo to increase your stamina, or you can follow wee birdies and foxes that'll lead you to little secrets, although I have to admit that gets really tiresome quite quickly. The minute you find a fox, then you know what's going to happen. It's going to lead you to a wee secret. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. The amount of bandanas in this game though is ridiculous. No bandanas, that's not right, is it? Fuck it, well, scarves, face masks, bandanas, COVID compliant, head coverings, who knows. But there's tons of them and I didn't use them. You form wee, I think they're called a haiku. I could be wrong, didn't really pay attention. You meditate and you're like, oh, look at the sky, or look at that rock over there, or meditate on the fishy river, and you'll sort of cobble together a wee story, then you'll get a bandana. Not the most interesting. But hey, if you like your open world busy work, you're going to like this, because it's quite a lot of it, and I have to admit it is pretty good. If you like that sort of thing. Luckily I do, but I can't identify when I'm like, oh, I've kind of had enough of this for now, I'm going to move on and do something else. Or maybe do a main story, or maybe just explore, find a vendor and buy an armour colour, or buy a hat, or find a hat. Or, yeah, there's just plenty to do, plenty to see, and it's a gorgeous game. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, and it's got a really, really in-depth photo mode, and I really like photo modes. Quite a fan, in fact. I think every game should have a photo mode, but not all of them do. Shameful, I know, but that's just the way it is. Even Doom Eternal's got a fucking photo mode, you know what I mean? So, no excuse now, game developers. No excuse now. Give us your photo modes, give us all your lovely different angles and your sepia tones. The story's quite long as well. I think the whole game took me about 60 odd hours, I think. The story's about between 20 and 30, depending on how fast you want to run through it or how shite you are at the game. And there's plenty of wee side characters that I liked. I can't remember them now because it's been a while since I finished it. I did actually platinum this game, yeah. It's one of the few games that I decided to platinum. I think I had like 5 trophies left and went, you know what, let's just get these and we can move on. There's a new Game Plus mode now, so I will go back to it. There's also a free co-op campaign mode now as well, where you'll fight more sort of mythological and fantastical creatures. I haven't played it because you have to play it in co-op. It's 2 to 4 players, that's it. Can't play it on your own, which is a damn shame, but it's free, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. The game was developed by Sucker Punch, who did the Infamous games, and I'd really like them to go back to Infamous, because I think they've struck a chord with how beautiful they made this world and how interesting they made it to explore, which is something that sort of missed the mark on with Second Son. It wasn't the best. It was good though, I did enjoy it, but it wasn't the best. This is far better. Speaking of the characters, the main bad guy, Kotal Khan, I thought he was in Mortal Kombat. I thought that was a Mortal Kombat character. Turns out it's the grandson of Genghis Khan, and he's called Kotal Khan, but Kotal Khan is a bad guy in Mortal Kombat 10. It's just a funny wee observation that I made. It's funny. Ha ha ha, laugh, right? So I would like Sucker Punch to maybe do another Infamous, certainly, and make other open world historical adventure games such as this. Now you can choose to play the game as either an assassin, stealth, ghost, and shame your clan, or you can be a samurai. I did a bit of both. I don't know how if that really affects the story. Probably not, but you know what? It might, and I might actually just get through the second playthrough and just leather everybody, don't sneak, or I'll do nothing but sneaking, because I have to admit the stealth kills are fun. Stealth kills are always fun, especially when nobody notices. You just plunge your fucking samurai sword right into their fucking back and you blood everywhere. Cracking. The standoffs are good as well. they got progressively harder to the point where I could barely do them. That's because I'm old, and my senses and reflexes are fucked. So, take that as you will. Anyway, I think I've blubbered on enough about this. Great game, go get it. Play it, love it. Just as a wee thing before we get started in this video, there will be heavy spoilers for the game coming up in the video, right? So you've been warned. Now I've found myself debating over the next two spots. The top two spots. Will I, won't I? I'm not sure. I can't decide. But I've ultimately decided to make The Last of Us Part 2 number 2. For reasons I will divulge. Now this game I did absolutely love. And I still do. I love it. It's great. It's part of one of the greatest game series known to man. But it's a controversial game to like, and it's also a controversial game to dislike. If you tell people you love The Last of Us 2, you must be some sort of weird SJW cuckfest. Or if you say you don't like it, you must be some kind of fucking incel, fucking homophobe, misogynist. And it won't matter what you say and how you rationalise either opinion. People will just hate you for it. It just seems to be the thing on Twitter, on the internet. Hate. No matter what. We can't talk about nothing anymore. Everything's fucking either this or that, black or white. There's no black and white in life. It's all shades of grey and jobby. So I thought, why be quiet? I'll just fly the I love this game flag as high as I fucking can. Do I think there's problems? Of course there's problems, but every game... You know, it seems like we're living in Groundhog Day, that every time I have an opinion in a game, I'm like, oh, there's always problems. There's problems in every game. I say that nearly every fucking time I have an opinion in a game. Like, people are like, oh, it's this SJW agenda with gay people. And like, yes, there's gay people in it, but you know what? There's gay people in real life. It happens. Get over it. Abby's too buff. No, she's no. Have you seen the amount of supplements folk have got lying around in this world? I find supplements every time I open a fucking door, and you're like pill popping all fucking game. So it's alright then, but it's no alright now. You're like, oh my god, people are upset that Joel get killed in the first 30 minutes of the game. Who cares? He was a prick. So yes, women like Abby do exist. Would they exist in a post-apocalyptic state? Depends, and it really depends when you play the game and you get to her part of the story and you see what her life is like. And she is basically living in this society. She's a soldier within this militia. Yes, they're well fed, they're well looked after. There's like gym equipment fucking everywhere, and all she does is eat protein burritos, right? So if that's all you do, there's little recreational things going on in this world because the world's been destroyed, right? So all you get to do is pump iron, eat, sleep, shite, and then just start over again. So you're gonna, if that's all your focus is, of course you're going to be fucking buff as fuck. Because there is no, oh, see, after we've done training, when we'll go out on a Saturday night and go for a cut. There is none of that shit. Oh, hard day at the office, Abby, you want to go for a pint? There's none of that shit. There's just fucking surviving. And when all you have left is survival and a thirst for revenge because somebody's murdered your dad, can you really blame them? Can you really blame them? What would you do in that situation? If somebody strolled into an operating theatre and murdered your loved one, would you be like, oh, cause you know what, it's alright, it's fine, just let it go. No, you would you fuck? But it's also a good way in the way the story's told with her revenge plot is that she's driven, very driven, but she's also completely fucking reckless. Drags her friends halfway across the country just to get revenge on something that happened 5 years ago. I trivialised that a wee bit there, right? Something that happened, her dad get killed 5 years ago. And all she has is a name. Now people are like, why did Joel and Tommy upon meeting strangers just give their names away? Because you know what? They let their guard down and they're getting old and stupid and feeble. Happens. And ultimately Abby's fucking quest for revenge, successful as it was, led to the deaths of all her friends. So, you know, there's no real winner here. Everybody lost. Everybody went overboard, and the whole point of the game was to tell you that blind revenge and things like that, it's a waste. As Mr. Miyagi said, if you go on a wee quest for revenge, you'd better dig both graves. No, you'd better dig 2 graves, one for yourself and one for the prick you want to kill, right? So that's very true. And that's kinda what happens, but not really, but kinda. It came very close to being a complete fucking... Anyway, I want to talk about the game now, right? Let's controversies aside, Neil Druckmann aside, I want to just say that when Neil Druckmann was up saying he nearly made a misogynist game because it was a virus or it only affects women, that's still misogynistic, you silly prick. That's genetics, that could fucking happen in real life. Is Mother Nature now misogynistic? Mother Nature? Actually, that was done in a film called Doghouse, so you were too late for the game anyway, you fanny. Do I think Neil Druckmann's a fanny? Yes. There you go, I think he's a fanny. Do I think Naughty Dog are an incredible game studio? Yes. Have they got crimes to answer for with forcing their workers into it? Yes. All that shit. Yes, 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 yes. So no, it doesn't change my opinion of the game or any game that they've made up to this point. Now, at the heart of The Last of Us 2, as I said, is the revenge plot with Ellie and Abby. They're both pricks, okay? They're both pricks. But you've got a 30-hour campaign stretched over however many different locales. You've got winter. Starts off with Joel, with Tommy riding back to the wee base camp, and then it all goes shit tits up from there. And you go on a wee patrol with Abby and Dina, and fucking, I liked that actually, that was pretty cool. I actually would like to see less revenge plots and more survival plots. Just trying to survive in the world and trying to protect your base camp from the many dangers that exist, whether that be human or infected. You know, fungus zombies. Fungi. They're all fungi. So Joel gets killed. This is the story we've got. This is the plot that moves the game forward. Abby escapes. Well, she doesn't really escape. She just leaves and leaves Ellie alive. Probably a big mistake on her part, but she's fucking stupid. So then Ellie's like, well, we're gonna go after her. She's faced Seattle. They left one of their jackets behind. That's another thing. Why were they cutting about with jackets on, telling them exactly where they were from? Seems really stupid and short-sighted to me, but you know what? That's maybe all they had in the world, and they maybe thought, we've got good jackets, alright, they've got our fucking logo on it, but it's saves a wee dangerous trip into a town to see if we can get other jackets that don't have logos on them. I'm just now envisioning some wee poor man or woman embroidering all these fucking patches onto these jackets. Fuck's sake, how'd I land with this shite? Just be thankful you're not getting gutted, you ignorant prick. Anyway, so they go off on a wee quest and you get to Seattle, and this is where the game opens up. But it only opens up for this one section, which I was quite disappointed with actually. I'd love to have seen a more open Last of Us game. Maybe that was the PS4's limitations, and maybe they'll be able to do something more open for the sequel with the PS5. I hope so. That would be lovely. Open world Last of Us would be great. You're just cutting about as Dick Van Dyke or Ellie or whoever, and I do want story, I want resolution, I want to see where my characters are. Love them or hate them, I want to see what they're doing, I want to see how they are. Check in once in a while. You know, did Abby reach the fireflies in the end? And well, I presume so with the end screen, because it shows you that wee island that they were talking about when they get fucked over with the rattlers. That was another strange thing. The rattlers, they were really quite interesting, probably much more interesting than the Sarah jobbies, the Seraphites, who basically had, when they get to their wee island, they've all got Viking houses. Quite like that actually. I'm now beginning to wonder if the Seraphites were the good guys or not, but I don't really think there is such a thing in this world as a good guy. There's just bunches of people stramashing together, trying to live, trying to survive, trying to continue. It's all very existential. It's all very philosophical when you think about it. The need to survive is stronger than the will to not be a prick. And it is. I saw the way this game just sucked me in, it was like, oh. So people say it's too long at 30 hours. I was like, I could have played that for another 100. It's just the way the world's built up, the way the characters, even if you don't like the characters, they're all very well done. They're well acted as well. People say, oh, they're not well written. I was like, well, what's well written to you might not be well written to someone else, or vice versa. I'm not sure, I'm not a writer, so there you go. Take that for what you will. But I love these characters for the most part, even the ones you're meant to hate. I suppose that is good writing, isn't it? If they've written them to be pricks and you actually go, oh, fucking prick, I'm going to stick that cunt in, you're like, that's well written, loving it. So yeah, it's just a very very solid experience. It's well written, it's got a lot of heart, and that's what I like about it. It's got heart. I find it believable that these people would really exist in this way, and they could just jump right at the TV and put your teeth in. Some characters are sidelined and killed off very easily, which is kind of irritating, but what you gonna do? So you either love the game or you hate it. I personally fucking loved it. I'll be playing it quite a bit in the future, and that's that for this one. So we'll move on to the last game. Well, you'll see what it is in a minute, right? Can I have some service, please? You had best speak to Bob. He's a dauber. Anyway, welcome to the finale of this video. Thank you for sticking it out if you have. If you have not, oh well, go about your day. You know, this might even be more controversial than the last game, because I've picked Assassin's Creed Valhalla for #1 spot. Yeah, I love this game for many reasons. I have things that I don't like about it. See, I told you I'd say that again. I say it every fucking time I talk about a game. Things I love and things I hate. Right, things I love are how boring is it to be me? Very, let me tell you. No lie there. Anyway, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I get to live out my Viking fantasies in a computer simulation, in a computer game. That's quite meta, isn't it? It's like the Matrix for Vikings. That's just pretty cool, yeah. It's a long story as well. I'm about 160 hours deep, and I think I'm on the final mission now, I think. It really is the game that never bloody ends. But it's such a beautiful land, and it's such an amazing fucking map that you get, and there's multiple maps. Okay, well, spoilers, alright, here's spoilers. Spoilers! You get to Norway, that's where you start, then you'll go to England. Then you'll go to Valhalla in a fever dream. Then you'll go to Jotunheim in a fever dream. You'll go to Finland, which is America. And I think that's it. There's DLC coming out for Ireland and Francia, but other than that, I don't know. Plus there's real world things as well, and you get to go to... no, the real world shit is minimal, I will say that. If you're worried about the real world crap getting in the way, it's very minimal. The things to see and do, other than the story, you have drinking games, which I actually find quite tough, because it's basically a rhythm game. You've got something called Olog or Oglog or blah blah blah. It's a dice based game like Gwent, only it's fuck all like Gwent, because I actually quite enjoyed this. Okay, Gwent's a card game, and Oglog, I can't remember the name, I'm just going to call it Olog, I don't know, that's just really dice, and wee tickets and things, and you get godly powers where you can kill people faster. It's good fun though, it's not hard, but it is fun. What else have you got? You can hunt down wee flying bits of paper that have got tattoos on them. I found the tattoos to be completely and utterly useless unless you want to walk around in the scud so you can look at them, and you can do that. You can wear armour and you can also hide it at the same time, so it looks like you're wearing nothing. Very bizarre. The weapons, well, the approach to weapons are different from previous two games. There's no the same trudgery of just getting thousands and thousands of the same shite and you're just dismantling them or selling them. You will have a finite amount, there's not that many, which I quite like. I found a particular favourite that I bought off of Wee Redda. Remember Redda for Origins? Nah, I didn't remember him either. Till I looked it up and went, who is this wee fucker? He's no in Odyssey, because I think he wasn't alive at that point. And yes, he does mention Bayek at one point in the game. We'll go, oh, I got that from my pal Bayek. So I'm now beginning to believe that Origins and Valhalla are quite close together, within a lifetime of each other anyway. So probably within a 30-year gap, maybe even less than that, 20 year. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But you get given me contracts for him. Go kill that guy. Go kill the animals. Are quite quite, straightforward. It's just to build up your Opal count so you can buy shit off them, and stuff is quite expensive. You can upgrade your stuff. You need to do that at a blacksmith. And you need carbon, carbon, tungsten, nickel, titanium and things like that. You need all those sort of rare precious metals, tungsten being the most precious. And that's to upgrade your weaponry and shizzle fully. And getting a hold of those tungsten ingots, those area ingots really can be a wee trial and error. You can buy locations for most of them at the shops, or you'll find wee question marks, and those are usually people cutting about that'll, for a price, tell you where a weapon is or an ingot is or whatever. A book of power, that's how you get your abilities. Only after the skill point system, you get better abilities through that than the actual books of knowledge. Some of them are quite good. I don't really like a lot of them, but then I'm an awkward big bastard, and I tend to find a way of playing the game that I like, and then I'll move on quite quickly. I'm like, right, that's it, I like this sword, I like that axe, I like this bow, and that's it. I'll get a handful of abilities that I really like, and then I just go to town on everybody and it works. I mean, I'm at the end of the game, so something's working. The power system is how you upgrade yourself and how you become more powerful for certain areas. Now, the highest area in the game is at power 380, and you only get 2 skill points at a time. There are ways of gathering other skill points, but it's a pain in the arse and takes fucking ages, so I'd actually like them to revise that a little bit. It is very RPG-ish in that notion. You can just stumble into an area that you're too low powered for and get an absolute fucking kicking. Some people like that, I personally don't, because it does have an inherent problem where you are sort of funneled in an open world, and I can only go in this wee direction, but if I deviate in any of the other directions, I'm dead. I don't like that. I think that's very annoying, and it's restrictive for an open world game. Get fucking rid of that pish. Just let me go wherever. I don't mind some of the RPG elements, but that's one of them that I don't like. I don't like it. I find it very, very irritating. So this basically is Ubisoft's Skyrim. There's a lot of snowy areas, there's a lot of unsnowy areas, there's no naval combat whatsoever. So don't think you're going to be getting more of what Odyssey had with the big naval battles out of the open sea. Nah, no there. You have a longboat and you use it for travel. That's it. You use it for travel, and you'll use it to go on raids, so your crew will come with you on the boat. Other than that, the boat serves no purpose. I was kind of disappointed with that. So, and there's like a nice assault mission later on in the game where you're on your boat and you're coming in from the sea, from round about the coast, but that's really it. So I was like, okay, I love the naval battles. The only thing that I really miss is the naval battles, because I thought they were great fun. Getting to board ships and splatter people and have these big battles in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, I did like that, I'm not going to deny it. I also like the way the game handles assassinations. Back in like Origins and Odyssey, if you were too low leveled, you would just stab them and then all hell would break loose. In this, if they are too high powered for you, you will get a timed, like a quick time event, and it'll just basically, you just line up the 2 lines with the other white lines, and you'll just kill them outright. So there's none of this too low leveled to be an assassin, which is good, but you can only do the assassinations after you get the hidden blade, which is a few hours into the game, depending how fast you go through it. I tend to explore, so I fucked about for quite some time, so it took me a wee while to get the hidden blade. But that's when you can start doing your assassinations. I was going up to folk crouching and going, why can't I kill this person from behind? Because you need the hidden blade, and you'll get it from a hidden one. No real big shock there. So it's nice to see that return, actually, because was it the spear you used in Odyssey? And I just stabbed him with a blade, like dagger blade type thing. I can't remember. Did he have a hidden blade in Origins? I really don't remember. Not that it's really neither here nor there, you know. But this is a fantastic game. It can wear out its welcome with its length. I say I'm about 160 hours, and that's with a lot of exploring, mind you. I think the story is about between 60 and 70 hours. It's quite long, and there's a lot of lengthy cutscenes. The romance options are funny. I mean, I get hit on by mostly guys in this game, but I did romance my brother's wife and shagged her, so that was funny. I didn't know, I hadn't even been paying attention that closely at the start. I didn't know who she was, so I just went, ah, fuck it, I'll plough her. I was like, oh, Sigurd will be upset, and I'm like, what? Awkward family meetings and dinners and breakfasts and all that shit. Luckily he gets kidnapped and he gets kidnapped and disappears for most of the game. And anyway, so the thing is, the power system is too huge. Needs to be brought down a wee bit. The length of the story needs to be brought down a bit. There needs to be more optional shit. The open world activities I have no problem with. I actually really enjoyed all of them. I think I played one that I didn't like. If I do remember it, well, it'll be too late for this video, so there you are. Aye, that's really it. It can wear out its welcome a wee bit. So I'd stop playing it for a wee while and play some other games. Other than that, the game's fantastic. If you like Origins Odyssey, batter in. And that'll be that, and thank you for watching the video. These are my games of 2020, and I'm sure I'll have one for this year. Maybe not. Maybe. Might be top 5. I'm trying to buy less games and save a wee bit of money. It's not going too well so far. With a few games coming out, I might do a video of what I'm looking forward to this year. Anyway folks, thank you again. Adios.
My friend, my leader, slaughtered like a dog by outsiders, by the enemy. Do we... Stop there, you! Wait up!